Good evening, I'm Jose Cardenas. We'll talk to the new Phoenix City Councilwoman-elect for District 8 about her plans for her term in office and learn about services helping to promote a strong family environment. All this coming up next on Horizonte.
Funding for Horizonte is made possible by contributions by the Friends of 8, members of your Arizona PBS station.
Thank you for joining us. Economic development strategist Kate Gallego defeated Reverend Warren Stewart in a contentious race that first went to the voters in late August and then ended in a runoff election in November. Gallego is the first woman to represent District 8 in South Phoenix. Joining me now is Phoenix City Councilwoman-elect Kate Gallego. Congratulations on your victory and welcome to Horizonte.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Don't want to spend very much time on the campaign because it's over. You are the Councilwoman-elect. But there was so much of a focus on whether the district should be represented by somebody who was African American that it didn't seem like there was much discussion, or it seemed to be drowned out, of some of the issues. Tell us about the issues that you don't think got covered enough because of this focus on the race question.
Well, my background is in economic development, and I think District 8 is enormously important for people throughout the valley. It is one of our major economic development engines and has potential to offer so much more. So District 8 is home to the airport, the rail yard, many of the areas near downtown Phoenix that have the potential to grow. We have a very small downtown in comparison to other cities of our size. Very few people living in the downtown area, again, in comparison to other cities of our size. And I really think it's important that we have that core. Young people really look to downtowns when they first finish their studies. They like being around other young people, things to do, great arts and culture. And downtowns are such an important incubator of great ideas, of entrepreneurs. So many young people, when they're deciding where to live, first look for what city to live in before they apply for jobs, and we want to make sure that all of our best and brightest stay here because it has so much to offer. So I'm very excited about the potential of continuing the progress we've made in downtown and reinvesting in some of our areas like the Warehouse District, which is a hotbed of entrepreneurs and has already come up with many of our great technology companies, as well as some of the arts progress that's been happening.
So let's talk a little bit about the district itself, and I want to talk about your background, then we'll talk about some of the issues that are facing not only this district but the city of Phoenix and what you see as your priorities. But physically, if somebody looks at a map of the district, it looks like kind of a J, and it's got a chunk of downtown, and then it kind of goes a little bit east, and then it goes west, out to Levine?
Yes, so it goes to 48th and Osborne, goes to include the airport area, downtown basically east of 3rd Street, so the baseball stadium is within the boundaries of District 8, and it heads towards South Mountain. It's mostly south of Baseline, so it is enormously diverse.
Who view District 8 as South Phoenix, that's an incorrect perception.
It is incorrect. Councilman Johnson, who holds the seat right now, developed the I Love District 8 slogan, because you really have to call it District 8. There's not any other simple way to describe it that's accurate. People in Levine do not identify as being residents of South Phoenix. People living in Green Gables neighborhood along Thomas do not think of themselves in South Phoenix.
And it's not only geographically diverse, but ethnically as well.
It is. It is an enormously diverse district. It's a majority Latino district.
You've got, what, 20 different languages spoken in the
district? Yeah, more than 20 languages spoken. It has the area around the airport, which includes many of our refugee populations. So it has the best Ethiopian food in Phoenix is in District 8. It has the Chinese Cultural Center, very diverse Asian American populations. So it is wonderful. It's the best dining as well in Phoenix.
Now, you made several references in your opening remarks to the Warehouse District. For those people who aren't familiar with that part of Phoenix, what are you talking about? How would you describe it?
So if you've been to the baseball stadium, you know that right there's the rail tracks, and we had many historic warehouses in that area, centers for industries like produce, and many of those buildings have been preserved and are seeing new uses.
It's very much an area in transition. Transitioning to what?
It's an area that has a lot of history and many important areas, including Post 41 of the American Legion, which is very important to the Latino community, but also now has many tech companies, and we just learned that the ASU School of Fine Arts is going to be bringing in about half of its programs.
And you've got other arts activities going on
Right,
in
so
the
many
district have
people
for a
may know
number of
Bentley
years.
Galleries and some of the other institutions in the area. That
So there's a lot of potential for the district. What do you see as and I want to talk about that, but what do you see as the most pressing issues?
Well, I think economic development is still at top of minds for so many people in District 8. So people are still hurting. There's a lot of people who speak to me and say, I did everything right. I got my degree. I've been working hard and I still can't find a good job to take care of my family. There's also a lot of concern that people in District 8 don't get their fair share of investment from the city of Phoenix. So when the city is attracting new employers or deciding where to put the next dog park, District 8 is not as high on the list as it should be.
Now, some of these issues really play to your strengths, your background. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I have a background in economic development. I work at the Salt River Project and help businesses that want to grow in Phoenix or that want to locate in Phoenix from elsewhere, particularly if power and water are an important part of their decision to come to Phoenix. So that's true of many technology companies in particular.
Let's talk a little bit about what you'll be doing when you join the council in January. Some of the issues that the council has been dealing with, some in various stages of resolution, pension spiking, the food tax. Where are you on those issues?
So on pension spiking, I think that it's ridiculous if your cell phone bill is becoming part of the calculation of what your pension should be. And I've never made six figures, so people making that in a pension seems unsustainable.
So are
to
you in
me.
favor of the compromise that seems to have been reached in that area?
Well, I think we really need to address it when we negotiate the labor contracts with the different groups of City of Phoenix employees and make sure that if you're taking something away from employees, that it's part of a comprehensive negotiation, that we're not changing the deal midway through so that
What about
it's
the food
fair.
tax?
And I supported ending the compromise, which will end the food tax early. I think it's very regressive to tax food. Food is enormously important, and we have many people, including in District 8, for whom it really does make a difference in their daily.
You've talked about the activities that are going to be your primary focus, or some of your priorities. One of them being the reinvestment, I think, as you've put it, in South Mountain Park, and the extension of light rail to South Phoenix. What do you think you can do in those areas?
Well, right now, light rail does not serve South Phoenix, and it has some of the most transit-dependent areas of the city, so people who don't have a car and who use mass transportation to get to work. And we need to make sure as a city that when we do our long-term planning, we think about light rail, and if we can do things like get more people living along the corridor, that will help us become more competitive for federal funding, because they really want to help people get to work. They want to invest in areas where the light rail will have the most impact from an economic development potential, from an environmental impact, and as well from really helping people who don't have alternatives.
Let's talk a little bit about the Phoenix City Council that you'll be a part of. In many ways, you're literally changing the look of the council. You're the first woman from District 8. You're the second Democratic woman. This will be a majority. I realize the council is nonpartisan, but a majority of Democrats. How does all that come together, and what do you see going forward in terms of what this council can do over the next several years?
I think that it's an exciting time for the city of Phoenix. We've been leading on a variety of issues, whether it be serving our veterans to becoming a more sustainable desert city. And we have a lot of potential. In general, we have a council who sees eye to eye on most issues. So I come from the Democratic side of the spectrum, but have had great conversations with my Republican colleagues about things like economic development. The airport is in the district, and a lot of people have said we need more international ties, so that if we can have things like regular flights to Asia, that will really help our economy as well as theirs, and support economic development. And on those issues, I found across the spectrum, the city council sees eye to eye.
So you expect a fair amount of cooperation, collaboration?
I do think so. I think there'll be some hot button social issues where we'll see a lot of headlines, but on most of the substance, on most votes, I think we do see eye to eye.
Well, Councilwoman-elect Kate Gallego, thank you so much for joining us, and again, congratulations on your
Thank you
victory.
so much.
Thanks for joining
Great to
us.
be with you.
Horizonte has close the gap when it comes to understanding the differences between Latino issues and Arizona issues, because more and more there is no separation. They're one and the same. And much like our center does is to educate the public on why everyone needs to understand Latino issues, Horizonte has done the same thing. So the value is in the education when it comes to public awareness about public policy and key Arizona issues, many of them which focus on Latino challenges and opportunities. It's been great, great 10 years and going, and I think that it really has furthered the discussion. I think it's been a great tool for understanding Arizona, especially at times when Arizona gets a little backwards, a little crazy, a little wacky. It's kind of nice that we can discuss issues in a very civil manner, a respectful manner, just regardless of what political positions or policy positions we have. So I think that's important, a forum that we can sit down, let's talk about the issues, let's move the conversation forward, let's have some resolution to sometimes some difficult problems and challenges.
I think we really talked about what we imagined kids needing in Brophy and then what that might look like if they're 10 years old and in 5th grade. So more than anything, we looked for kids and families that were really committed. We offer an extended school day and extended school year, so our kids are there 10 hours a day and 11 months out of the year. We knew that would require a lot of commitment and dedication on the part of the students and their families.
It was in this tiny room, now converted into an office, that Angela and her family spent days and nights while she underwent chemotherapy. Olivas recalls those painful days, their daughter seriously ill, and the family feeling as though the walls were caving in on them. After Angela's death, her family decided they never wanted another family to feel that same agony. So through the help of donations, several rooms were transformed into Angelita's Amigos rooms.
We are very fortunate that the hospital has grown and Angelita Amigos has grown with them. My vision is to go ahead and continue opening up these rooms for the family of need. That, again, it's all about family. And I believe that as you go through some of the negatives of life, you fight it as a unity, and that's what the rooms are all about.
At the state level, what would you say were the issues you dealt with in Congress that most impacted Arizona?
Well, certainly issues dealing with trade did. I was very proud to play a major part in the North American Free Trade Agreement, and that opened up an economic relationship between the United States and Mexico, between Arizona and Mexico, that we had never experienced before. And the increase in the amount of trade, the amount of people coming across the border has been enormous since that time.
The Mariposa Land Port of Entry in Nogales, Arizona was built in 1976. It had 2 private vehicle lanes and 1 commercial truck lane. Originally, the port saw a low volume of traffic, but that has changed over the years. The Mariposa Port is the nation's 3rd busiest land port of entry. And as AZPM's Laura Palmisano reports, it's now getting a facelift.
It means fresher and faster and more business coming to Arizona. It means basically looking at eliminating wait times at the old outdated infrastructure and actually making things move through our ports and get to grocery stores and restaurants much faster.
More than 4 billion pounds of Mexican produce enter the United States through the southern Arizona city of Nogales each year. The fruits and vegetables cross the border through the Mariposa Land Port of Entry that's under construction. The Fresh Produce Association of the Americas estimates the value of those fruits and vegetables that cross through Arizona is worth about $3 billion annually. The Mariposa port sees about 1,300 commercial trucks a day during the peak winter season. Produce industry officials say despite the additional lanes at the port, commercial truck drivers still face long wait times.
Right now during the construction phase, we still face some of the delays that we faced before just because of staffing shortages at our port of entry. You'd still have waits of 1 to 2 hours at the worst during the very peak part of the day and the peak part of the season.
The Fresh Produce Association represents U.S. companies that import produce from Mexico and distributors that ship those fruits and vegetables across the globe. The Mariposa port is the primary port of entry for produce entering the country. The renovations at the port include doubling the capacity for commercial vehicles by adding 4 new lanes and tripling the capacity for private vehicles by adding 8 new lanes. It has a price tag of $187 million.
It'll bring more employment, for sure, more CBP officers at the port,
The mayor of Nogales, Arizona sees the Mariposa upgrades as a good thing.
Another thing that it'll bring is employment with the maquiladora industry, with warehousing for the distribution part of it. So there's a lot of positive things. It's just that we have to make sure that we plan right.
Guarino says during construction at the port, wait times for pedestrians and non-commercial vehicles have actually been reduced.
You can go across right now into Mexico and walk in and probably come back, if you want to come back, within 10 or 15 minutes, not an hour. It's time like it used to. The cars are being reduced right now to half an hour. It all depends the peak time of the day. If the staffing is done properly and we have the staffing needed at the port, the flow of traffic coming from Mexico going south and north, because we also have inspection going south, will reduce.
The Mariposa port has remained open during construction, and the additional commercial and private vehicle lanes are already open too. The renovations call for the demolition of outdated facilities at the port. There are now new inspection areas, and a new commercial inspection dock is being built. Customs and Border Protection says the port should be fully operational by the end of the year, months ahead of the August 2014 completion date.
We're moving into the new facility at the end of the year, but the final construction when GSA turns over the facility to CBP will be in August of 2014.
Moore says the renovations at the port will eventually translate to faster delivery.
It's going to be better for produce because it's going to mean that the supply chain is more predictable, it's faster, it's getting to the warehouse so that if it arrives at 4 o'clock in the afternoon today, it can be on a truck at 5 o'clock in the afternoon today and be on the road and get to stores and consumers much faster.
Chicanos por la Causa Parenting Arizona promotes strong and thriving families through parent education, multicultural family support, and community collaboration. Joining me to talk about CPLC Arizona is Julie Rosen, Executive Director of CPLC Parenting Arizona. Julie, thanks for joining us on Horizonte.
My pleasure.
Give us a quick history of Parenting Arizona.
Well, Parenting Arizona was really acquired by CPLC in 2004. Prior to that, it was Parents Anonymous. In 2004, we've been working to really incorporate ourselves in other parts of the state and make a huge difference for families.
And as I understand it, it's been around for 34 years.
Yes, that's right. We have a long history. We've been around since 1977, but we've been part of La Familia since 2004.
And you're the Executive Director.
Yes.
Give us a sense for the geographic areas that are served by Parenting Arizona.
Parenting Arizona serves a lot of the state. We're in Tuba City, Winslow, Flagstaff, and many cities up in the Navajo Nation. Kayenta, Ganado, Fort Defiance, Window Rock, Chinle. We also go out east a little bit to Holbrook and Joe City. So in Maricopa County is about half of our business, and we go all the way from Globe to Wickenburg. So it's a very large part of the state.
And when we talk about business, how many families do you serve?
Every year we touch up to 30,000 families, including our direct care and our outreach. In terms of the actual individual families that we provide comprehensive services to, it's 5,000 families a year.
And what kind of resources do you have to provide those services?
We predominantly do 4 different types of services. One is home visitation, and up in the Navajo Nation, we go into the homes and deliver prevention programs. Predominantly, we teach 3 things: the importance of positive parenting, the importance of early childhood knowledge, and the third one is the importance of literacy. We're really trying to get kids to really learn to read. We do those 3 services in 4 different settings. One is the home visitation. The other setting is community-based. So we deliver classes at different types of libraries, domestic violence shelters, homeless shelters. We do it at Fresh Start. We do it all over the valley with different collaborators that we have. So there we're teaching the class to the parents in the community. And we also have resource centers in the school and in the community. We have one in Guadalupe. We have 4 in Flagstaff, 1 in Loop, Arizona. And those resource centers basically have the exact same mission: child development knowledge, positive parenting, and early literacy. Those are the 3 things that we're really doing to prevent child abuse from going on.
And that really is ultimately the goal, right?
Exactly, exactly. We want to do two things. One is to give families the tool they need to really have healthy, thriving children that are ready to read when they start kindergarten. The reason that this is so important is that if we have readers by 3rd grade, their high school graduation rate is very high, and then they'll move on to college. That 3rd grade reading level determines so many factors in a child's life. Our job is to really get them ready to read when they start kindergarten. But if they're not prepared by kindergarten, they're not going to hit the benchmark of 3rd grade, which means that their chances of high school graduation drops dramatically.
Now, in terms of the importance of the work you do to prevent child abuse, you and I talked a little bit off camera about a recent fatality report that really illustrates the need.
Yes. Every year, the state of Arizona produces a fatality report that identifies every single child that died in the state of Arizona. CPLC Parenting Arizona is interested on the section that talks about deaths related to maltreatment. Maltreatment is a death that can be preventable and that happens as a result of murder, really. It's some type of neglect or, if you will, just a fatality.
And most of these by parents, sadly.
That is the saddest part of the whole report. A lot of times when people think about child abuse, they think, oh, it's the boyfriend, it's the lost uncle, it's someone else. We know for a fact that 87% of all fatalities in 2012 were at the hands of biological parents. 60% were the mother and 27% were the father. These are the actual biological parents of the child. That's why the work that we do is so important. We are giving these parents the tools that they need to really make a dramatic shift in the way that they're parenting. A lot of times parents learn how to parent from their parents, and if they grew up in poverty, with substance abuse, with domestic violence, that becomes so ingrained in their brain that they think that's normal. So our job is to intervene with high-risk families to really turn that around and give them the tools that they need.
And you touched on some of the problems that can lead to child abuse. Substance abuse is one of them.
Yes.
I think you've mentioned in the past. Teenage pregnancy. How do you deal with those issues?
Well, one of the things that we do is we continually educate the parents on the importance of child development knowledge. If they know that when they need it, then their expectations are going to be realistic. We make a lot of referrals. We work with a lot of partners that address the substance abuse, that address the domestic violence. Our scope is giving them the tools that they need to raise healthy kids that are ready to learn. And that's what we do through those 5 or 6 different methods that I mentioned earlier.
Let's talk briefly about funding. It's a big issue right now with the problems at CPS. Where does CPLC get its funding? How big is your budget? How many people do you employ?
We have about a $3.2 million annual operating budget that covers all the services. With that money, we have 50 team members that are providing services to these 30,000 families across the state of Arizona. In addition to that, we also have 69 volunteers that help promote the mission and that work with us to really advance the cause. About half of our funding comes from First Things First. We're very grateful to the funding that they have been able to offer us. This is tobacco revenue, and they our initiative that was voter approved in 2006 and has done just a fantastic job really making an enormous difference in early childhood education. About the other half of our funding, I would say, comes from the DES, from the state of Arizona. They fund our services. The services that they fund are also prevention services, but some are treatment services, where we work with families who have already been involved in CPS. The bulk of it, however, is really preventing the abuse from occurring. That's the main thing that we do. The funding is definitely something that is constantly at risk because prevention programs are the first to be cut. In 2008, there was a very large financial crisis in Arizona, and our programs were slashed in half in 24 hours. I couldn't believe it. I remember being on the phone all day.
But you've since recovered.
We have recovered.
And speaking of funding, and we're going to have to wrap up the interview, but I know it's that time of the year when another important source of funding is available,
yes.
And that's the tax credit.
Yes, yes. Arizona is lucky to have a working poor tax credit this year for the first time ever. Folks can contribute to to a qualifying charity, which CPLC Parenting Arizona is a qualifying charity, and you don't have to itemize. That's the best part about the Working For tax credit. An individual can donate $200, a married couple can donate $400, and
So
it is literally
on
a
that
credit.
note, we're going to have to wrap up, but hopefully it will generate a lot of donations.
Thank you so much, Jose.
Shirley.
I appreciate it.
On a sad note, Ruben Hernandez passed away earlier this month from stroke complications. Ruben was known in the Latino community as a journalist, poet, and arts activist. He was laid to rest earlier this week. Ruben was also a frequent guest on Horizonte, and he will be greatly missed. That's our show for tonight. From all of us here at Horizonte, I'm Jose Cardenas. Have a good evening.
Funding for Horizonte is made possible by contributions by the Friends of 8, members of your Arizona PBS station.